So tell me if you've had the same experience, but I tend to do my best when I am at least partially terrified of my teacher, of my coach, of my instructor, whatever. That is a bit of a joke, and maybe it's laying it on a little bit thick, but for me, it has broadly held true. Whether it's, formal schooling, when I played sports, when I was in the academy for my federal government job, really whenever, I've always done my best when my instructors were, maybe not scary, but at the very least when they were demanding, when they set really high standards and they expected you to meet them, and when they had little to no tolerance for excuses or exceptions or for special treatment. I had a professor in graduate school who gave such an intimidating first day of class, sort of here's what to expect spiel, that when we came back the next day, half the class had dropped. And they weren't necessarily wrong. She was really tough. She would assign lots of reading. She would expect that you read all of it, and she would ask you questions and follow-up questions and follow-ups to the follow-ups that would expose you if you hadn't done your work. It was really tough, but I loved it, and I learned a lot. So my coaches and I were in our weekly coaching development meeting yesterday, and we had a long discussion about this, about what our responsibilities and roles are as coaches, and about how we get stuck somewhere in between this sort of customer service mentality and a development and growth mentality. Because coaches aren't just programmers or performers or group class air traffic controllers, although we do wear all of those hats at different points. But at our essence, our job is to help our clients build healthier and more capable and more vibrant lives. It isn't just about helping clients achieve their goals, because what if they have no goals or their goals are totally unrealistic? We have to do more than that. We have to help clients determine what they want and then dig deeper into what they really, really want. And we have to balance that with what is possible. And so then comes the part that most people think of as the whole job, right? Program design and in-person coaching and movement demos and cueing and correcting and all the hands-on exercise sciencey parts of what we do. And yeah, that is really important. But just as important as that, maybe even more important, is making sure that our people are staying on track towards the goals that we've worked with them to create, right? It's not just enough to load them up in the car and fill it up with gas and wave as we fade into their rearview mirror. We need to basically follow them in a support vehicle and make sure that every breakdown is handled as quickly as possible so that they can get back on the road to where they are going. So yeah, we need to make sure that our programs are good, that our coaching is great, and that we are celebrating our clients' successes and showing them their progress. But what about when they aren't doing great? To continue that car analogy above, what do we do when they purposely or inexplicably or accidentally or reflexively drive their car off the cliff for like the third time that month? Just like in real life, it can be really hard to have hard conversations. It can be hard to tell people when they've missed the mark or when they've come up short, but we have to do it. As a coach, that is doubly true. People are paying us to do it, even sometimes when they don't actually know that, right? Because like I said at the start, most people respond better when they feel like there are expectations set for them and when there are consequences for those expectations if they aren't met. And we as coaches would not set expectations for our clients that we didn't believe they could make, right? We believe in them. So I wouldn't say that what I'm talking about is easy with a one-on-one client, but it is easier than doing it with one individual inside a larger group or group class, right? A one-to-one coach-to-client relationship is inherently more intimate, whereas in a group setting, it is a little more broad. Further complicating things is that in a group setting, individual behavior can also impact other people's experience and the group vibe as a whole. Once again, this doesn't mean we should run from these conversations. In fact, it's almost more important to have them because it is very possible that someone's failure to meet a group expectation is not only affecting them, but the group as a whole. Now, what do I mean by something that would affect the group as a whole? I mean people showing up consistently late and or unprepared, people not paying attention or talking when the coach is trying to coach, people failing to bring intentionality or even effort to their movement or any other host of things. These obviously affect that person. They obviously are getting in their way of getting the most out of their precious training time, but they're also likely affecting the people next to them. And it is our responsibility as coaches to communicate our expectations and hold our collective boundaries with these people too. Right? I mentioned before, but often when we're in a customer service business, we overcorrect to never wanting people to feel any negative feelings. But we're not a restaurant, right? Our relationship to, our responsibility for our clients extends far beyond the time they're in the gym. And it's repeated day over day and year over year. Because of that, we need to be more honest. We need to be more invested. And sometimes we do need to risk some short-term uncomfortability for long-term growth. So if you're a Lumos member, we've got some stuff in the works to better achieve these principles. And if that announcement fills you with a little bit of dread, a little bit of like, oh no, is it me they're talking about? That's probably good. We hope that it sharpens you, that it focuses you, that it makes you show up a little better. We will always treat every member here with love and respect, but we're not just in the business of giving you a fun hour a few times a week. We're trying to give you a long, happy, and vibrant life, and sometimes it takes honest talk and high expectations to make that happen.